back, baby.
Oh, I was wondering who was supposed to start.
Back.
Was it me or was it you this
Look,
time?
see, I had to. I am the quarterback of this situation here, and I got it. We are good.
That's right. He's the quarterback, and I'm the running back. At least that's how I make him feel.
Oh, see, I left myself open for that one.
You did.
Okay.
You did.
You know what? You know what you left open?
What?
Last night?
What? Wait. Wait, where are you going with this? Before we go any further, bring it back.
Your mouth.
I left my mouth.
You left your mouth
bring
open.
It all the way back.
No, see, get your mind out the gutters.
I can't.
You were snoring.
You
were snoring heavily.
I wasn't snoring. Don't even believe that. I have a device now that prevents me from snoring. Now, I admit.
You didn't put it in last night.
I'm a reformed snorer, but I have a mandibula now.
Okay. A mandibula. Spell it.
M-A-N-dibula. Mandibula.
Exactly. Anyway, she was snoring so much. Our youngest daughter, Harper, literally says, "Mommy, stop snoring. Mommy, stop snoring." And then she goes, "Forget it. Alexa, turn off Mommy."
No, she didn't. You didn't tell me that.
It was the cutest thing.
You didn't tell me that.
I said, this is hilarious. But anyway, this has nothing to do with our show.
Okay, wait. But since you dropped that, I didn't tell you what Kendall said.
What did Kendall say?
So we're in the kitchen the other day. She comes running downstairs after being on TikTok. You know, they on this YouTube. And she says, "Mommy, I have a new favorite group." Well, yeah, really? Who? Earth, Fire, and Wind.
Earth, Fire, and Wind.
And I'm like, no, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire. She's like, no, it's not. It's Earth, Fire, and Wind. How do you know? I said, baby, that group is so old. Like your Baba. Baba is granddad in Swahili. Your Baba used to party to Earth, Wind, and Fire. They think they know more than us now in this TikTok world, FYI.
But it's all right. I appreciate it because she has an old soul.
I love them babies.
You know?
See, that's why we want to leave them legacy.
Yes.
Not debt. That's the whole purpose of this podcast, marriage and money. We are not experts.
No, not at all.
As a matter of fact, some people may say we do not know what we're talking about.
And that's okay. As long as you're listening. You know what? That's fine.
We're not experts in marriage.
No.
We're not experts in finance.
No.
We're not well, I'm an expert in real estate. That I do consider myself.
Yeah.
But we are just two people who've been together 18 years, and we choose every day to stay married.
Exactly.
Right?
We
Work
created
on our
this
marriage.
platform not just to pour out, but to learn as well. Everyone that we have on here, we learn something from, right?
And we decide that we are leaving our children legacy, not debt. And so as part of that, we got to shout out two publications.
Yes, we do. We have to shout out Forbes and Black Enterprise for doing a write-up on us, but more so about the fact of what we did for our daughter.
Yeah, so Kendall, who's our 10-year-old, she owns her first investment property, and she is preparing to own her second investment property. And this came from really Mike and I paying attention. Like, our kids are sponges. They will learn whatever we feed into them. So Kendall is often listening to me doing real estate deals on the phone, and she asks questions, and then she knows what a mortgage is, you know. And so it's amazing. We said, instead of just telling them about real estate, let's walk her through the process of purchasing her first property and teach her how to manage an investment property. Therefore, it becomes second nature. You know, real estate seems foreign to people because they don't know it, or maybe no one in their family has purchased the house. But if we teach them from the rooter to the tutor, from the ground up, that real estate is the foundation of wealth. That was sexy the way I said that,
it was
right?
real sexy.
Real estate is the foundation of wealth. Then it'll come natural to them. So the thing to understand, you can do this too, by the way.
Yes, you can.
You do not want to purchase the property in your child's name.
You can't.
You can, but you shouldn't, because here's the thing. Kids have to be at least 18 years of age to convey title. That means...
So you can't.
Don't
do it.
No, you can purchase it in their name. The thing is, you won't be able to sell it in case of emergency, which is why, if you're going to do it, set up a trust. You want to set up a family trust, make it a revocable trust, and then you purchase the property in the trust for the benefit of the child. I can feel you looking at me. Am I getting too cerebral?
I was going to say, for the benefit of the folks watching and listening, we're gonna leave that right there. And if you need to know any more information, you can hit her up in her DM or something.
This is the Marriage and Money podcast. Some of y'all want to hear more about this, don't you? But he shuts me up.
Catch us on episode 69, okay? Or 70, 71.
In all fairness, we have two very special guests.
Yes,
Hysterical.
we do.
this is the one we've been waiting for, right?
Yes.
She gonna make you laugh, y'all.
Make you laugh. They're gonna have you cracking up.
And I finally get to meet her husband too. So I was in radio for 20 years, and so I still have friends in radio that just have made it last forever, and they got the secret sauce. She's one of them. Dede McGuire has a nationally syndicated morning show, and you have to understand what a challenge that is as a woman to get to a space where you hold down the helm in many cities.
Yeah.
And she's hysterical. And she ain't even trying. That's the thing. Her husband is an entrepreneur. And together,
Chris Allen.
Together, they're going to tell us why being the breadwinner does not mean that you are the leader of the relationship. So y'all want to welcome Dede McGuire and Chris Allen.
Let's do this. Hey.
So wait. I gotta know, because this is really big to have you in Atlanta for the podcast. Were you in town for the weekend visiting somebody, or did you come just for this?
I came just for this.
Oh my gosh.
We both
appreciate that.
He took off, and we were like, well, I got to tell you, I'm really bad. I don't have an assistant or anything like that.
Oh, you're only on in 72 cities.
Well,
and don't have an assistant?
Well, I never feel like I'm big enough. Like, I'm not big enough, like, to do all that. I feel like I could do it myself.
Just stop.
And so I double booked, and so we really wanted to stay longer, but I have to get back for we're feeding 10,000 people.
10,000 people. Oh,
and we don't have an assistant, but we're feeding 10,000 people.
And then I have to do another.
Superwoman, you know that Superwoman Syndrome.
Really? What is
That's
that?
a thing, Superwoman Syndrome, where we don't know how to delegate. And this is something I had to learn. We don't know how to delegate.
Thank
you.
you
Agree. And we think, you know what, forget it, I could just do it myself. Everything is, forget it, I'll just do it myself. Forget it, I'll just do it myself. You're going to run yourself into an early grave.
And I have it all up in my head. He gets mad at me.
We're going to nix the podcast. We're turning this into an interview session.
Let's do
Dede
it.
McGuire is looking for
You know what?
She needs an assistant.
Let's stay there for a second, right? Where you feel like you have to do everything. At any point, Chris, does that become either annoying or unattractive?
Annoying.
You went there way too fast.
Yeah.
man.
That's all right.
It's not unattractive.
He said unattractive.
It's annoying. Because
Let
when
me-
I get home and I say, oh, by the way, we got somewhere to be tomorrow. You just now telling me this? I have
Yeah,
something
bad.
planned. Then next thing you know, it's saying, hey, we got something going on next weekend. Why are you not telling me this? Well, I thought it's not important, but I just forgot.
Yeah.
And it happens all
the
the
time.
time.
Y'all don't keep a schedule? You know, like your iCal or something where you just kind of
who?
plug.
You're talking too much.
What's an
I'm
iCal?
talking too much.
You
Or
talking
she
too much.
talking too much.
It's short for iCalendar.
Oh, I don't know what
We
that
were trying to
is.
work on that today.
He was trying to tell me that today.
iCalendar, Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all that stuff set up for it. But
Okay.
But you rather just make videos and stuff
I'm
on
old
Instagram.
school. No,
So,
no.
So you mean old school like Franklin Covey? Like
Oh,
you
yes.
still write everything
Yes.
down in the planner?
We got a planner that's about this big that she writes down. Yes.
I'm old school.
And then I say, what we doing next weekend? I don't know. I got to go home and figure out what the calendar is. Damn. But okay,
Wait.
we deal with it.
I gotta, okay, because we're having way too much fun. Let me just rewind. Let me get everybody
that's a lot.
up to speed. I first met Dede, and I was just trying to count when I was 22 when I met you. So, I mean, considering I'm 28, at least that's all I'm admitting
I was just going
to.
to say I had to be about 19.
You're lying. You did. Yeah. Over 20 years. We won't go over 20, okay? We'll just say 20. We've known each other that long. And as long as I've known her, she's just been a beast. Oh, I just know you to work
Yeah.
and do it with joy. Now, I don't know if it's real joy, but I know it comes across on the radio as joy. Do you still love what you do with the same level of passion?
I do. I love it even more. Like, I love it more. I think what I love now is the possibilities. And I think what I love so much more now is that he and I get to do this now together, and he's now understanding my vision, and my brother is a part of it now, and we're seeing such a big picture that I had never seen before. So it's great to have other eyes, right, that are involved in this, who are trying to pull me along to get me caught up in an
But
iCalendar.
when you're in the spotlight, right, and you've got this demanding career where people are pulling you in a million different directions, I remember well, it's hard to meet somebody. It's really hard to connect.
Yes.
Like you're talking to so many people, and you're coming across very You're coming across very extroverted.
but you're really not?
But you're not. You're not.
you.
And it's hard to like connect. So how did you penetrate? How did you get through? Tell me the story of how
hold
y'all
on.
met.
Wait, I
Let's
don't
stop
like
with
the
the
word
word
The word of
penetration.
choice, right?
Good word
Penetration.
words. Penetration.
Okay.
We grown.
All
We all
right.
grown sitting around this table. Your definition is your definition. My definition is my definition. But
How did you see through the facade?
How about break the wall is what you're saying.
Yes.
wait, you said walls.
Okay. See, now we're talking about
Penetration, walls.
Thank you.
Like, I'm trying to bring it back to the PG.
Gee whiz.
How did you delicately break through the facade? No. How did you get through?
Parking lot pimping.
Oh.
At the club.
At a club.
Parking lot pimping, penetrating walls. All right.
And the club was called Club Karma. So it just added all to it.
So you drove up on her and
No,
said,
no. Look, let me tell you. I was in town for a sales meeting at the time. She was living in Dallas. I'm living in Iowa. And I got home for the weekend, decided to say, let's go out. We go out. We at this club. I see her, 16 deep.
16 girlfriends with
Girlfriends
her.
deep. Ain't no way I'm going to talk to that. You know what? At some point, you got to let that deer run by itself before you try to shoot at it.
Thanks for calling me a deer. I thought I was a stallion, but okay.
Again,
I thought I was
as
a
I
stallion.
said. So she's outside by herself. Valet, she got a car with the valet. Her car is literally 6 feet in front of her. Never showed up for about 15, 20 minutes. And I'm throwing out the corniest game ever, and she's eating it up.
So what did he say that made you stop?
So here's a true story, and this is the real story, right?
My story's good.
Well, I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm just saying what I'm
game
thinking.
was great.
Well, it was. But from my perspective as a woman, here we go. Every Friday, I was single, and I was living in a big, beautiful house with the pool. I had all of that, you know what I mean? Like, right? Trappings of success or whatever. And I used to get on the phone every Friday and talk to my good friend, Nicole. Every Friday.
You mean our producer, Nicole?
Every Friday, I swear. She was living in New York at the time. And she and I would talk every Friday. I had been to this point where I said I was done dating. I didn't want to date anymore. It was such a failure, right? And so I enjoyed my reading my books. I enjoyed traveling. Me and my girlfriend, we all had a great time. My life was full, right? It was like, I'm cool. If I never get married, I'm good. And one day she and I were having a conversation. I'll never forget, I said to her, is it really this hard out here dating? And Nicole said to me, she said, it is for women because we have a set of standards. She said, but for some men, they just want a big booty and a smile almost, right? Think about it. Their standards. And she said, if a guy is looking for something different, that means he has standards. If he's having a hard time, he's looking for something different. So a week later, I'm at the club. I leave after 20 minutes because I'm bored. I'm like, this is not what, I'm going to go home and read my book.
You can't say that you saw me across the bar?
Well, I did see you across the bar.
And what'd you think?
But I thought you were looking at my friend who was real cute in the yellow.
She was,
Ooh! You better get in trouble for that one.
I did. I thought he was looking at her. So I was like,
It was 16 deep. What are you supposed to do?
But
Throw
let me tell you
pin
what I
You do
love.
eeny, meeny,
Mighty
miny,
mo.
mo.
Right.
Whatever happens,
But
here
let me
we
tell you what I
go.
love
You know
about
what? You're
him.
in trouble.
He really wasn't like a hound either. You like the guy that he's not a hound. He's not,
He's cool
but he's
in the
also
cut.
girls are looking at him, but he's not looking at them. So you're like, okay, I like him. And so, but anyway, I leave after 20 minutes because I think he's looking at my friend. Oh, this wine got me. Anyway, I'm standing out front, and he comes. I know, right? But he comes out and he goes, "Leaving so soon." And now I'm staring at my car. It's literally, like he says, like 6, feet away. And I don't even turn around. And he goes, really? He goes, it's a nice night. And I'm like,
Can I throw this piece in there?
I don't even look around.
My boy is with me at the same time, and he's hearing me say these lines, and he says, "Man, this is some corny shit."
Yeah, because he's like, leaving so soon. It's a nice night.
And he
Clearly worked.
And he walks off, and he like jumps in the car, and I'm just standing there like.
Here's the
my
last
boy
thing he
left
says,
me.
though. No, so I won't ever turn around, right?
I'm talking to the back of the head the whole time. That's what I'm
Finally,
doing.
he says, is it really this hard out here dating? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I just had this conversation with my girlfriend. So I turn around, and then I see him, a tall, which normally every man I dated was shorter than me. So I
looks
go,
up.
who is this tall, handsome black man with a nice smile? So I turn and look, and I go, okay, God, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was it.
And so that was it?
And then he lived, and then he said to me, he didn't live here. He didn't live in Dallas. He said he lived in Iowa. And I go, what's a black man doing in Iowa?
That part.
And he said, I'm not your average brother. And then that also got me. I went, I can find the average brother on
These
every
two
corner.
read the same book.
Because once he said he wasn't average, I was there.
They read the same book, Dede. That was the line he ran on me the night we met.
No.
See, why is it always a line?
Well, it
And
sounded
why
like
does it
a
have to
line.
be right?
What'd he say?
It's not
What'd
a
he
line.
Well, so we're at a club.
Ooh,
True.
here we go.
Yes, we're at a club.
Your line
Shouts
was
out to
corny,
Club
too?
Love.
You had corny line too?
Yeah. At the time, I was still in radio, so I was like brick wall, you know, brick wall. Especially if you meet me on a job, like brick wall. So he literally comes up and he's like, you know, I saw you across the room, and it was a light that was shining straight on you. And I said, I just gotta come talk to you. And I was so ice queen on him, and he goes, I could tell you're a little jaded. I'm not your average brother. Ooh. Line for line.
The line of
Am I
the
lying?
century.
Fellas,
No.
fellas, if
No.
you hear this and you single, use that line.
That works.
Apparently.
Doesn't it work?
I'm not your average brother.
But see, 18 years later, it is proven to be that I have not been the average man, right? Because
true. It
I've been
shows up.
consistent with my actions and who I am. You know, it wasn't just a line. And that's why I hate when I hear, oh, you used the line. I was just speaking my truth. So, and here we are 18 years later.
But what, they've been married for 12 years?
12
years now?
years.
How
12
did you
years.
know she was your wife, though? That's a difference. A woman you want to date versus this is the one I have to marry. I love her. It's about her. She's the one I've been waiting on.
Wow, why you cheesing? Wow.
I don't want to say I put it on him, but you know,
Actually, it took me a while. So
I mean,
I had to put some work in.
you know, I had some reserve left.
When,
So they say that women will do that. We have some reserve left.
knock the cobwebs off of that, you know.
Oh,
like,
wait,
my-
and there's an
anyway.
age difference here, right?
No,
Two
no.
years. 2 years.
So
Okay, maybe 5.
He lied to me about his age when we met. He told me I actually thought he was older than me. It turns out he was younger than me.
I never said I was older than you.
You
I
lied.
never said I was older than you.
Hey, let's talk about you
Okay.
two.
No,
First
let's
and
do that,
foremost.
y'all. We're having you as the guest.
No. See, the tables have turned. We were on Dee Dee's show. You are now on our show. Okay,
right.
you are in the hot seat.
That's right.
You are in the hot seat.
But so what's the real age difference here?
A lot.
A lot.
What's
A
a
lot.
lot?
A lot we won't say. What is it?
It's not much.
Maybe
5 years?
We'll say 5.
We're gonna go with 5.
10 years?
No.
No, hell no.
So it's somewhere but 8 years?
It's less.
Let me see what the
18.
Let's just say this. Look,
barometer
look,
says.
Look,
It's
look.
a lot.
Okay.
How I figured out this is one I wanted. I've done some dating, done my exploring, and then you have conversation. You come to find out that, you know what, I need somebody to have the same likeness and love of what I want to do, and also be experimental on a lot of different things.
Experimental.
You did it. Be quiet.
What the hell you mean?
Okay, so she was right. She did throw it on you then. That's what it was. Yes,
I'm the
sir.
first black woman Chris had dated in forever.
That's a lie.
Come on, you were in Iowa. Stop. Let him
There's a
know.
variety of.
Let him know.
I'm internationally
Let him know
known
you were knocking
by
him
the
down.
microphone.
Chris, you were knocking him down. Come on.
Go, Chris. Go, Chris. Go, Chris.
But anyway, look, we had a chance to talk.
Yeah.
She would call me every day around 10:30 after her leaving her girlfriends and being drunk. And so we would talk from 10 o'clock to about 12 o'clock at night, almost every day. I said, she kind of likes me.
So you were drunk every day. Okay.
I can't with her.
Well, hold on.
Didi, you are crazy.
I gotta say why. Okay, here's what happened. I did morning radio for 10 years, right? I'm with it. He's not telling the truth. Okay.
I'm telling you the truth.
Well, hold on. I did morning radio for 10 years, right? And you're getting up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So the show I was doing with Doug Banks, may he rest in peace, we ended up going to afternoons, and for only a year and a half. And I felt like in that year and a half, I got to live. I got to go to concerts. I got to go out. Egypt, you know, when you've done morning before.
I'm free.
Yeah, and you get to. And so for a year and a half, while we were doing afternoons, before I took the job I have now, I had a chance to just be regular, right? And just hang out and go to concerts and hang out and have dinner with my friends and get drunk. So on my way home, to make sure I didn't get a DUI and make sure I wasn't too messed up, I'd call him and he would talk to me every night. And I was trying to introduce him to our producer at the time, and because I thought he wasn't ready for what I wanted. And we were just friends.
Okay, so we've been laughing,
I know,
cracking
I'm
up.
sorry.
We're having
No,
a good old
don't be
time with
sorry.
you. Let it all out. Don't be sorry, but I want to dive deeper, right?
Yeah.
We want to get deeper. So you guys got together. Dee Dee, you had already been super successful. And is it safe to say, because this is the topic we're having, were you the breadwinner at that point in your relationship?
I don't know. I guess because he was doing well too. That was the other reason why I wanted to marry
Nicole,
him.
that's the topic of today's show.
Hold on. I'll tell you. But I am. Hold on. But here's the thing. He was, but I assumed I was at the time when I met him. And the only reason why is because, I had my own home. I was on a national show, syndicated or whatever. So, I would probably say yeah, but I didn't think about that because it was interesting when we met. I remember asking him, "What do you do for a living?"
And then you stopped me and you said, "No, let's not even talk about what you do and what I do. Let's just get to know who we are."
Okay. Which I love that you said that.
Because I remember saying to him, I go, "You know what? Don't tell me what you do." I said, it doesn't matter because what we do is we try to figure out what someone does for a living
and put them
to
in a
garner how much respect we're going to give them.
Sure.
We start thinking about how much money they make. We do all of that. So I said, don't even tell me what you do. Let me get to know you as a person, as a human being. So I guess for me, that was the big thing. He wasn't living in Dallas. He wasn't living in an area where the show I was on was popular or really known necessarily. So I was like, wow, I get a chance to meet somebody
Clean slate.
who doesn't know what I necessarily do or have any.
Okay,
but
chime in here.
Well, hold on.
Chime in.
Hold on. So when I got a chance to meet her, we ended up talking. She put me through the test for a Grammy watching party, which was the next day after I met her. Because it was the Saturday I met her, Sunday was a Grammy watching party. Her girlfriend comes out, why don't you come over to the house? I go over to the house, again, 16 deep, all these beautiful women. I'm like, what the hell is the problem? I brought my boy there with me that laughed at me the whole time. We're sitting at the table playing spades. It's me, 3 other females. She's in the kitchen having a conversation. And I'm telling myself, this is a test. I know what she's trying to put me up to see if I'm some type of hound dog. I'm like, no. I'm here trying to holler at this one. Let me see what happens. She's in the kitchen having a conversation. I'm saying to myself, like, wait a minute. I'm in Iowa. She's talking about something that I heard on the radio station in Iowa that's being broadcast out of Chicago. And I said, okay. By the way, excuse me, ma'am. Did you talk about this? And she says, yeah, why? Are you on the radio?
He didn't know.
Oh, you didn't know
I had no
until
idea.
that night.
No, to that night. And I said,
I love that, though.
Right,
Yes.
so that's what...
Yes.
So
You
he
knew that
didn't
his
know.
motivation from the beginning wasn't that he was chasing fame or anything.
And here's the other thing.
We worry about that when you're in the spotlight.
Yeah.
So when he came to my house, I remember there was a guy I dated one time, and I had bought this house, and my mom... I was having problems with, like, a door wasn't shutting right or this and that. And my mom told me to ask this guy I was dating to fix it. And she said, you'll know whether or not he's going to be the one because he'll do this for you without worrying about anything. The guy, when I asked him, he was like, bam, bye, whatever. You know, it's like a year later, I meet Chris, and he gets to my house. I don't have to ask him anything.
Effortless.
He would be like, hey, your doorknob was messed up upstairs and I fixed it.
Right.
Or this was that. He didn't. And here's the thing that is so interesting as we talk about, you know, breadwinners and women and money. You know, there were guys that I was interested in or I was thinking about dating. They would come before I met Chris. They would come to my house and they go, oh, where's Mr. McGuire? I guess you don't need, ooh, it must be nice. You got a house with a pool or you get what I'm saying? Like they would say certain things.
Intimidation.
Yeah.
And I knew then and there I would be like, that one's done. That one's going to have a problem. That one's going to have a problem, right?
Yeah.
Because if, I know Egypt, you'll understand, and any other woman will understand sometimes when you have a goal in mind, you know that where you are may not be where you're going to be. That's it's not the end and that it's going to be more. And so you want a guy that can go along with you, who will support you.
Grow with you.
Who will grow, who understands, who's not going to take from you.
Or be intimidated by your success.
Right.
You shouldn't have to shrink yourself in any relationship.
So I didn't have to shrink myself with him, and that's what made me go, okay. And in terms of breadwinning, I guess, again, I didn't talk about what he made or what I made. I assumed he was doing well, and that's all that mattered. I needed a man who could do well within his own budget and what he made, right?
I love that you said that you didn't want to know about what either person did, right? And the fact of you thought that if I know, or people tend to try to figure out what you do to gauge how they're going to approach you. Because I say that to people all the time, is that we get so lost in tags and titles.
correct.
And we are not our resumes or bank accounts.
Correct.
So I love that. So how long did it take before you popped the question?
Ooh, let's see. Well, let's see. I had to.
She popped it on you. She let us know that part.
No.
And then you popped the question.
No, let's get it right.
She already spelled the beans.
Let's get it right. I tried
You're
to
from
be
Iowa, so you get the city girl.
Well, I'm from Dallas, but I went to school to Iowa. Let's get that
Oh, wait.
right. Okay, let's get it right.
You just made
Get
me
it
a
right.
city girl.
Get this right. Okay, let's get this right.
All right, I'm gonna get flued out.
Okay.
No, I mean, when they first said it, you know.
Fluid.
Flued out. It was the city girl when they first said it. Wait, go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Be quiet.
Y'all are
Young
so
Miami.
cute. Y'all are really cute. But no, just the dynamic, right?
I
the way y'all play
I
off
knew
of
she
each
was
other.
the one when she decided, you know what, I'll come up and visit you in Iowa. So I had to go out camping with us on the middle of a lake. She slept in a tent.
We were the only black couple.
Okay, she really liked you. She
Yeah.
slept in a tent.
She slept in the tent. She smelled like smoke because we had a campfire going on in the morning. You just smell your hair and everything else. And then I said, you know what? Let me see if this is really going to work, because I said something that really didn't sound good to her, but it sounded good to me, and she didn't want to talk to me, so we kind of like broke up for about like 2 weeks or something like that.
What was that? I
What'd
gotta
you
know.
say?
What did you say to me? Tell them again, because you said something like they all do that or something.
They all say that or something. I forgot what
Something
it was.
he was trying to clump me with all the other women that he had messed around with, and
Why
he
you gotta
says,
say it like that?
"Well, you did because you had a drawer full of like lubes and stuff. Let's be real, at your
Oh.
house when you were single."
All
I
right
gotta
now.
get up. I gotta
Okay, he did. He had a
Hey,
drawer.
hey,
full of
as
sex.
a single
He
man,
had
you
the
want to
lube
protect
drawer.
yourself, right?
He left me in his house, and I looked through the drawer. I was like, "What is all
Okay,
this?"
well, no. Now stop. You look through his stuff.
I was
So you know when
dating
you
him.
go through somebody's stuff,
Oh, now we were
whatever
dating?
you
I thought we were just
find.
hanging out.
We were dating.
Oh, you took it that serious?
Well, whatever. Anyways, I saw.
Yeah, you
his-
don't know. Like, there's a certain personality type. After y'all go on the first date,
Thank you.
you're her boyfriend.
Thank you. And I'm that
it.
one.
She was trying to get rid of me, trying to holler at my girlfriend.
Not really.
Not really.
really.
No,
Not really.
no. She okay,
She
so
was
this one
testing
here,
you.
right?
I own my stuff now.
Jaded, super jaded. You know, again, trying to protect themselves, trying to protect the name that they build, the brand, etc.
Yep.
Right?
Our hearts. We're protecting our hearts.
Right. But at the same time, it was, I'm dating somebody, right? I'm like, okay, cool.
Girl,
I'll
I
be here when you get
was
back.
home eating popcorn,
And
watching Blockbuster. That's
and
how
then-
long ago it was. It wasn't
The whole
Netflix.
time.
It was Blockbuster.
And then it was, we were. I forget the restaurant we were at. She was like, well, I just got a job offer. I'm moving in 2 days.
I
I'm
did.
like, all right,
That was
I'm
true.
coming.
I was going to move to Orlando, and then I turned it down. Okay.
But she didn't expect me to say, okay, so I'm coming. Right?
Then I thought he was
So
crazy.
she was like trying to throw everything at me to get me out of the picture.
I got a good one too.
You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I also knew that was her defense mechanism, right? And not understanding that. No, it was matter of fact. We were at the radio station, and song came on. I was like, let me just talk to this girl because she's not in the right mindset. She turned around, put the headphones down. I said, why don't you just let me love you? Mario played. That's what
That's
you
right.
said.
She said,
I
"Let me
said,
lo-"
why don't
he-
you just
he
let
said,
me
"Let
love
me
you?
love you."
Like, let me in. And she was like, what do you mean? I was like, because you just keep putting up all these fronts. Like, I see right through you.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But
I
it
was.
was a facade for so
Yep.
long.
You
were doing that too?
So long.
Not like you.
Yep.
Dede, like you were supposed to have my
By day
back. I
Tuesday,
thought we were
he had
connected.
broken me in.
So after that comment that I made, she didn't want to talk to me. I finally kept calling. I said, hey, look, whatever I said, I'm sorry. How about we just meet in Denver and hang out for the weekend? The Mavericks were in the playoffs. The Dallas FC Dallas was playing that same
Because he
weekend.
plays soccer. That's how he ended up in
So
Iowa.
it's like, it's a good weekend, sports weekend for me. So she says, okay, fine. I said, just fly there. I'll take care of everything. So we hang out. We had a good time. We go to the restaurant. She was tipsy and everything else. She's like, I don't think you know what I want.
Are you getting ready to tell the very personal moment?
Yeah, the moment that it set me off to say,
well,
you know what I
Okay,
want.
go ahead.
Well, wait, they're
hold
going
on,
there.
I'm going to let them go there. But she's worrying about stuff being personal. She done talked about lubes, penetration, walls. I think we done got personal. We beyond that point.
Well, we are grown
Let's
folks
go.
here. This is
And we
marriage
got
and
that
money.
already in
Marriage and money. Okay.
We are misbehaving under the eyes of God.
There you
And
go.
that's
Because
marriage.
we have taken a covenant.
And that's
Okay?
marriage.
That's marriage.
All right.
Now
That's
go
marriage.
there.
So then she says, I don't think you know what I want. I said, what makes you say that? I said, do you want to die alone?
Yeah, he did.
She says, no. I said, so what makes you think that I don't want what you want? Well, I said, look, you want to do this or not? You know what she said?
That was straight up and down.
It was. And I was like, okay, fine, let's do it. And then guess what? He proposed, and within 4 months we got married. I was like, you want to do it? Let's go do it. Then we're not going to plan a long-ass wedding. We're going to get this done.
So from the day we met to the day I proposed was 9 months? 8 months?
Year and a half. We got married
Within
a year?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
and it's
Well,
lasted.
It
for 12
lasted.
years. I think what that proves is we were dating for 6 years before we got married. But what that proves is there's no time limit. There's no right or wrong. It's you navigate your relationship according to what feels right for you.
Exactly.
And you live by that.
Correct.
Because there are people who, they do the whole courting and they're together for 3-4 years and then they get married and divorce the same year.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys were together 9 months.
Yeah.
12 years later, you got a success story.
Okay, I'm gonna
But then I didn't
deviate
wanna
from your podcast and just go. You're so damn pretty. It really scares me. Listen,
Thank you, Dede.
yeah, like you're all pretty. But I was gonna say something. You were asking about, because I know what this is all about. Your podcast is about. And you ask about being a breadwinner and this and that.
Yeah.
One of the things I was going to just say, because I want to make sure women understand something, I had to realize that the head of the household had nothing to do with your money.
Exactly.
The head of the household has to do with, for me, it had to do with his decision making. It had to do with his relationship to God. It had to do, you know what I mean? It was a spiritual head to me. And I didn't grow up in the church, and I knew that's what I liked about him. When we started talking and on the phone, it was all about how he was raised and what I liked, and I knew where I was going later in life. And so for me, the head of the household really is more than that he's the breadwinner. It was about his decision making.
Can I second that
Yes.
for a minute?
Yes,
I love
yes,
that you
yes.
said that. For years, I had it all backwards. And I really did inside think I'm the head. That's what I say. I'm the breadwinner. It was a very selfish existence, and we were going down a road to nowhere for many years. Obviously, we had to press a reset, but truly, he's the head of the household for the same reasons. His first resort is let's pray about it.
Yep.
That's a leader to me. Or I'm looking for him everywhere. He's downstairs in the basement meditating.
Yeah.
I tried to meditate. I fell asleep and almost burned the house down. I lit the candles and I was trying to meditate, almost burned the house down. And I'm quick to anger. I'm quick to say, they're not going to do. And he's quick to say, wait a minute, let's think about it from a different perspective. To me, that all signifies a leader.
Yep.
And, I had to recognize that emotionally, he was stronger than I was. So, okay, this is going to sound cliche, but he really has made me a better person because of it.
Me too.
Yeah.
There's nothing cliche about that. That's
But
what
it should be, right? Isn't that what you want in marriage and from your partner?
Right.
Yeah. She
And
made
so
me a better
it's-
person
it's-
as well also.
Exactly. And same here. I even in our vows, I said she's my muse, my sunny day, my good news. Right?
Because he's a rapper
on the
side.
Wait, y'all did your own vows when you got married?
We
You
did.
guys wrote?
We did. We
that's
did.
so
Yeah.
nice.
But
How long was your wedding?
how long was it?
Yeah.
It
was a
pretty
long wedding.
but it was
It was a
beautiful.
big wedding,
It was
too.
beautiful. It was beautiful.
I was with 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Y'all said your vows and y'all went on the honeymoon.
Some party. Let's call it
like,
a day.
yeah. Thank God he said yes.
Our wedding was interrupted by Mr. Softy, the ice cream man.
The ice cream truck started playing. I
Literally
was like, we didn't
started
pay
playing
all
while
this
we
money
was
for. He was
doing
like,
our-
calm down. Let's look at it differently.
Oh my God, no
Paid all
way.
this money and Mr. Softy messed up our
Oh
vows.
my gosh, no way. Okay, I love that. Okay.
But to speak to your point, the breadwinner does not equate to being a leader or the head of a household.
No.
I mean, if you go biblical
Yes.
biblical with it, it says the man is at the head, right?
Wait.
If you,
I just wanted to throw that out
You're
there.
in the
For
middle.
sure.
Okay.
I wanted to throw that pause out there for those of you who paused when he said
Gotcha.
that.
Yeah.
Not that I feel the same, but
No, I'm not saying it's our rule or anyone's rule, but if you do go by what's in the scriptures, the man is at the head, right? And some people would say, well, that's not my household. And I say to people, to each his own, right?
I love
whatever works
I
for
love
you.
that you are. I do. I got a lot on my plate. We have 3 kids. We run multiple businesses.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm the administrative person in our marriage. So I handle all the paperwork, all the planning, all the scheduling. You need an assistant, you said?
Got
I handle all of that.
When you guys did the competition, when we knew you were going to win, we knew
Rock
that.
the Block.
Rock the Block. We
Yeah.
watching
But
that.
can I tell you what's so hilarious? When you sat up and got on the first season, when you sat and you were like, they're not getting this here, you wouldn't get up, and he was trying to. Man, I'm so proud of you guys when we watch it. It's so good.
you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
good. But anyway,
Thank you.
that
Thank
was
you
just a
so
side.
No,
sidebar.
no.
Yeah.
Wait, so I have
Let's
more
talk
to
about
talk
what you need to
about.
talk about.
Well, This is what we needed to talk about. This is funny. No,
it's
here's
marriage and money.
Wait, no.
Right?
I'm going somewhere.
Okay, see where you
I'm going somewhere with it.
Okay. Leave with it.
So, we've laughed, right?
know,
We've heard your
I know.
beautiful story, but clearly, to be together 12 years, there's some hurdles that you guys had to jump over, right? What was the hardest thing you had to get through in your marriage?
Chris, you want to tell it, or you want me to tell it?
We going all the way
I want to
real
hear
with
what
it.
you say.
All right. Number one, the first hurdle we ever encountered, Chris and I ended up going into business with another couple. About how long? Was 6 years ago?
6 years.
About 6 years.
6 years.
6 years ago, we bought 3
Franchises.
with another couple.
Okay.
And again, this is before, and I never, this is the one thing that most people figure out, and my girlfriend knows this, I'm not going to advertise and talk about anything that we do. It's like, for me, we just do what we do, and it just is. We did it 6 years ago. We bought 3 franchises for fast signs. And the people don't know what it's like to be in business. It sounds glamorous. We all see it online and on social media. It looks good, and everybody celebrates you when you think you got to win. But real work goes into it, and we made some mistakes. We made some serious mistakes. And Chris didn't tell me when the business went into some serious issues, had some serious financial issues, and he didn't tell me. And when I found out, it really created a serious rift in our marriage. What was that, year 7? I want to say year 7.
Year 7. Yeah.
And so that was a problem, wouldn't you say?
That was.
And then now we've gone through it. Thank God we got through that. We got out of it. And now we have one store. And Chris and I are the sole owners of that one. He runs it, and that's it, right? But initially, I was angry.
And I think that was the one where you want to be the head of the household. Like, you know what? This is my problem. I don't want you to stress out about
Keep
it.
the peace.
Let me deal with it myself. Until the papers got served and said, hey, look, something's going down.
Right.
And she saw it and like, oh, shit, here we
Yeah.
go. Now
Came to the house.
Now I got to go ahead and explain what's going on.
Right.
Because she's got her own business that she's got to deal with, and I got my own business. I put myself in a situation. I need to get myself out of it so that there's no stress in our own house.
Right.
And that's what you felt you were doing.
That's what I felt what I was doing.
And you looked at it as financial infidelity?
Yeah, because I'm going, we're doing this, and I trusted him to tell me the truth, and I was so angry as I'm trying to build because, I have this syndicated show, and, I'm in business, and I don't talk about it, but I'll say it here. I'm in business with service broadcasting and the people who syndicate us. I share 40% of the revenue and do all this with that part. I have a foundation. I'm trying to build my side in the radio, and I thought he was taking care of us personally and professionally. And so when this came about, I was angry. And my girlfriend said to me, she goes, Nicole, again, this is my bestie. She said to me, she goes, you need to go to therapy. She kept saying, you guys need to go to therapy. I kept going, no, we're fine. So we go through a whole year. And I'm angry and not realizing I'm hanging on to and holding on to some anger with him for not telling me. And I kept going, why didn't you tell me? I can help us get out of this. We could all put our heads together. We can call friends. We could do this. And again, eventually we're over that situation. We got over that hurdle. And then we held on to that, and I didn't know. We had another incident where we were on vacation with a friend, with some friends. Go ahead, Chris. I ain't gonna say nothing.
Wait. What?
To be honest, we got in an argument.
It was ugly.
It was an ugly argument.
On vacation.
On vacation.
Okay.
Just an ugly
Our
argument.
8th anniversary. Now, this is a year later.
Again, this is all being pretty much compounded based on the idea of me not saying anything. We go on our anniversary. We're on vacation with friends. Pretty much now she's mad about me not tipping. Whatever it may
For a
be.
year, I've been angry, right? I've been angry.
So
You held on to all that for a
the
So
year.
time.
any
For a
little
year.
small thing, it would just be a blow up in my face. Blah, 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 blah.
I was disrespectful.
And so I just like, you know what? Fuck it. So I pretty much just got myself just completely shit-faced drunk. End up leaving the hotel, went across the street, conversations, talked to some female who was in the same hotel and walked her to her room and then walked out the room, not looking at anybody else, and walked back into my room.
Now, we're on vacation with friends. Go ahead. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Yeah, with friends. I never told her anything, so that next morning I went golfing because I'm still mad.
But we're talking to each other about are we going to get a divorce? And people didn't know this. This is the part that, I'm private. And I mean, you do radio and you tell enough. You know this, Egypt. And then there's certain things that you're not willing to talk about.
That you have to hold on to for yourself. Yeah.
And so I didn't tell anybody that we were talking about divorce. The next morning, we're texting each other about, is this it? This is year 8. We're done. Let's get a divorce, whatever. And so we go on about our business. And then a month and a half later, I find out Chris had come out of somebody's room. Somebody sees him coming out of this woman's room. And they think, dun, dun, dun.
They think, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And now everybody's talking about it. But me, I don't know.
The perception made it look bad.
Right.
And so that perception said, yes, I did. But I never said nothing to her because it was innocent. So I'm like, why would I say
Well, that's why
Right.
y'all always,
Right.
even if you think it's innocent, y'all should always tell us.
I know that. But now going forward, as my best friend.
And Chris said to me, he said to her, the girl, because I kept asking, you know me, women. I go, what happened? And blah, blah, blah. And he said, I remember he kept saying to me, he goes, I remember saying to her, I've made a mistake coming in here. I've got to get out of your room, right? He was like, because he said, what was it? You had to use it or something, use her bathroom? Because she was across the street. And when he told me this, I was just like, okay. And there's more to it, but go ahead. I'll be quiet. Anyway, well, the more is that I made you take a damn STD test and everything else before you touch me. Hell.
And it came back clean.
Did he take a lie detector test?
I did all of that. And
I
wait,
know you. How did I know you did that?
Okay,
how
listen.
did I know?
So
no one told me that.
I
just had a feeling that you did that.
Okay,
But
so
yes, but it was all my fault from the start.
he owned it.
And I owned it from the part where I said, I'm going to take care of my responsibility from the business. Then the anger part of that was, yes, okay, let me get it. Let me clean it up. Let me get it right. Then to the point where the anger point was where I almost said, why are you mad? I know where we're at. To the point where you were so disrespectful, calling me out my name. And I'm still sitting here and saying, being a man of faith, things are going to be all right. We're going to pray about it. We're going to get past this. And I stayed consistent on everything I did. I didn't lie. I didn't move forward. I just said, this is what I'm doing. This is where we're going.
Yeah, but
So I had to continue to keep proving that who I was to her.
well, number one,
How'd y'all get past it though? I mean, we all go through. Couples go through.
Thanks to COVID.
and counseling.
Oh,
counseling.
COVID kept y'all together.
Well, he called the counselor. Well, number one, he took the STD test, and I was like, "Thank you, give me your results." Then my friend sent me a picture of the chick, and I was like, "She's busted." She was. When I saw her heels.
You were like, "Oh, I forgive you."
When I saw her heels, and he's a real big stickler on dry
shoes?
heels
On
and shoes and heels.
Well,
and
she
I
was
looked,
kicking rocks back to
yeah,
Jesus?
it looked like her
Yeah.
heels were a mess.
Oh, my
and when
God.
I
Yeah.
saw her and I saw how she looked, I went, he didn't mess with her. I could tell. That was just like, yeah. Now, had she been blonde and blue-eyed, I would have been like, Iowa came out in him. and we would have been divorced. Had she been blonde and blue-eyed, his type, we would have been divorced.
It's more brunette.
Oh, but brunette and blue-eyed. This one here, she was a
I
little.
like him a little exotic.
She looked like she ate a lot of Oreos and she had crusty feet. I went, oh, he just went in to pee. So once I saw her, I was good. And then he called a counselor, and we went to counseling. He really wanted to save this, and I thought to myself, he's really remorseful. He wants to save this, and we went to counseling.
I love that.
Yeah.
But this.
But I talk about it on the
Oh,
air. He knows
man.
it. And I've said to him, I wouldn't talk about it if it wasn't true. See, I'm not a liar. I always say
Right.
this, I'm not a liar.
Right.
And no matter how uncomfortable it may get, he may have been uncomfortable now, but I say to him all the time, you put us through this, right? So now you've done this. And because of what I do for a living, I have to address Egypt. You get
It's
like,
our catharsis. The microphone is like our best
Thank you.
friend. It's our therapy. So you have to know when you're marrying someone who is a broadcaster, specifically a radio personality, that everything you do, everything that y'all
It's gonna be
experience,
broadcast.
is up for conversation.
Yes, period.
You know, it's what we draw from,
And it's
like
how we get through
comedians.
it. Yes,
it's how
and
we
it's-
get through it.
And so he gets it now, but I talk about it every day on the radio. Every day. I'm going to mention it. No, but I mention it because I want people to understand they may look at us. We don't have kids. You know, if you follow my social media, we look like we travel a lot. We go out and we spend money. We do this and do that. and it looks good, but it's not perfect.
Right.
We're just as
Perfect
flawed.
doesn't
We're
exist.
just,
It doesn't
It
we're
doesn't.
just as regular as everyone else. It's just a facade that everyone wants us to be.
What we don't want is an Insta marriage, which
No.
is taking pictures and
No.
putting on facades just for likes and just for kicks. What we want is truth.
Right.
What we need, what the world needs is authenticity right now,
Yes.
especially this
Yep,
generation.
I agree.
But I will say,
What?
y'all have been a hoot.
Oh
Y'all
my
have been
gosh.
so
Beyond
funny.
that.
So
This-
funny,
this-
so honest.
So much that could have come out of just that right there.
There's more to it. I mean,
Yeah,
we got a lot,
I
but,
know.
you know.
But
We gotta have y'all
we're
back.
gonna have to do part
We
2,
gotta-
3,
yeah, we
4
gotta
on
be
this
back.
one.
I love
but this
it.
is marriage and money.
Yeah.
So before we get out of here, give us one each, 2 pieces of advice when it comes to dealing with love and money that you would leave with someone.
Wow, that's a good question. Number one, respect. I mean, that comes with respect of the spouse that you currently have, no matter what they're going through, hear them, listen to them. And then when it comes to business, I mean, it's called set a high goal. Someone told me, I think it was just the other day, I was at a conference about dealing with government contracting. And I mentioned the comment about I already set a sales goal for the year because I'm looking at trends of $2 million. And I said, but my real goal is $5 million. And the guy says, why are you staying at $2 million if that was, he said, stay high. If that's your goal, let that be your number. And so if you got a number or you got an ideal, stay at that number, stay at that place, and just focus on that. And before you know it, you're going to hit that number.
Okay.
So I would just say stay consistent on your goal. Don't sell yourself short.
Shoot for the moon, land on the stars.
Mine would be marriage and money. I guess my 2 things would be this: figure out who is kind of like what you guys just said. Who's the idea person? Who's the one that can be, that can handle all the emails and, all that? Because Chris and I have figured out what our strengths are, right? I'm an idea person. And one of the things that we're doing now, there's so many things that we have in our basket and from the fast signs to me doing what I'm doing with radio to we're getting ready to launch the edibles and all of this other kind of stuff. And I have all these ideas. He's the one who can implement them. And so I love that. So I think that when you talk about marriage, find out what your strengths are, I should say, right? Wouldn't that be something what your strengths are?
Yeah.
And then the other one is, to me, being honest about what your goals are. We don't have kids, but for me, I'm taking care of a lot. I mean, I think if we talk about Black families, you're not just talking about taking care of kids. We're taking care of parents. We're taking care of brothers and sisters. We're taking care of, and I think that
Immediate
we are
family.
getting, when we talk about legacy, and I'm seeing that a lot now, I think legacy is bigger than just what your kids are going to inherit. Most of the time when you hear about was it Warren Buffett or they often say they're not going to leave it to their kids because when you leave it to your kids, how many years later will they be broke, right? But your legacy should be bigger than. And so both Chris and I understand this. Chris is on the board of the Big Brothers Big Sisters, and we give to that. I have a foundation. I do that. And I remember Oprah once said, and I watched where she doesn't have kids, and they were saying, well, Oprah, you don't have kids. And she said, well, would it have been better that I leave all my money to this one child? Or is it better that I educated hundreds of girls and women? And you know what I mean? And so I think for me, for us, when we talk about marriage, and certainly for me, I just keep thinking about we don't have kids, but what will our legacy be? And him being involved with Big Brothers and Big Sisters, me doing what I'm doing for single moms, I think the legacy is going to be there. And that's the reason why we work. And the other part of the legacy is showing that as African Americans and as an African American couple, we can do something. We can all do something. We can teach. We can grow our money. We can invest. We can invest in our culture, our community. That's big to me. That's that. And I think that the both of us are understanding that because some of the things, and we're not talking about because, and trust me, and the only reason we're not talking about it is because my mom used to always say the devil listens to everything. When you speak it and you talk about it and you're this.
Yeah.
Don't leak it, just do it.
Just do it.
Yep.
And I guess for us, we're just, in the process of doing it. And the process is longer and more intricate than I knew, from getting, trademarking to LLCs
yes.
to contracts.
Yeah.
People think you're not doing something or you're not active because they don't see it on social media, but you're like, hey, I can't do that because I'm locked up in a contract. And if I do this, they get the money and not me. Legacy is understanding the legal situation that's going on and understanding how these, I don't want to say walls. I really don't want to say walls. They're not walls.
We've already said walls. We said walls.
But yeah, we did. But you get what I'm saying? Like, I think what for me,
Roadblocks.
the roadblocks. And what you guys are doing is legacy. Truthfully, marriage and money, because I think this is something that we need to talk about, and that is the fact that our legacy is also bigger than just our children, right? And our grandchildren. It's about our community and us educating our community, because I think that's what we had learned. I didn't know. I was quiet about what we did 6 years ago. I'm watching other people now talk about, oh, this person bought this, and I'm quiet because I'm going, this is just what we're doing. I guess you can teach and learn with it
but
too.
don't talk about it, be about it.
Yeah.
Execute.
All about execution.
And teaching is the big thing we got to do.
I
big
heard
time.
someone else say,
Big time.
I won't give money. Instead, I'll give an education.
There it is.
Right? I give you money, you squander it. You don't know what to do with it.
Right.
I give you an education, you teach others. You
Yes.
pour back into the community.
Yes. That is
Everyone
correct.
builds legacy.
Yes.
Everyone wins.
That's how it works.
But
Yeah.
all right.
I know.
right.
We can talk to y'all all day.
I know.
Oh,
and I
yes.
can drink wine
Yes.
too.
Part 1, 2, 3,
Listen,
4. I'm telling you, it's coming.
Where can people find you? Let's go there.
You can find me on Fast Signs DFW. My Fast Signs DFW. That is my site. Other than that, then I'm also on Instagram at Chris Allen. No, I'm not. What am I doing? No,
Everything
LinkedIn.
is
I'm sorry, LinkedIn. I'm
Everything
sorry.
is my fast sign.
Yeah, I forgot. There's just so many random stuff I got going on in my head. I've got some other stuff that's in the works. But once we come back, I'll let you guys know
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Also, too. It's a lot.
And you can find me at Dede in the Morning, Dede's Dope Podcast, Dede McGuire Foundation, and that's about it. I'll just say that.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Right? That's enough for 5 people.
Jeez.
Oh, it's been a blessing.
Amazing.
You know what we got to do,
Amazing.
babe? One to go on, one to grow on.
Wanna go on,
Which one
wanna
are you
grow
taking today?
on. I'm going to go on.
What?
You go on and
I'ma
go
go
off.
on.
Go on and go off.
One to go on. What did I get out of this today? That's what I usually do. I get up, I just think about everything that's been said. And what I'm feeling in my shanana-na-na-na.
And your mama say, "Mama,
Yeah.
all up in there."
Yeah.
Dad, you been working out. I had to make 2 more.
He been working out.
Popped out.
He's squeezing.
I got these on layaway. They was for sale. Yeah.
called constipation
I'm
squeeze.
feeling
What?
to say that don't be afraid to speak your truth when it comes to dealing with relationships, your significant other, relationships, when you're dealing with family, whatever the case may be. Stand in your truth and own it. Even if you have to say it, as they say it even if your voice have to shiver, right? Because you're scared to say it. Just say it. Because in the long run, it will save you a lot of misfortune or issues that you deal with later by not saying it in the present, right? And I say that to say because of what you guys spoke to us about, right?
Him wanting to protect her. He wanted to protect her.
Right. But at the same time, not knowing that, let me just speak it and say it, and we can resolve it in the moment.
I don't know if I can formulate my thoughts. I had a whole glass of wine. You know, I'm a lightweight.
Me too. I had about
lightweight.
5.
I'm a lightweight. Here's what I don't know. This does not relate to our conversation, but not everybody can go. Not everybody can go where God is taking us all the time. Our path is our own. And so there may be some relationships that we have to let go of. There may be some business partnerships, as you know, what we recently had to go through, that we have to let go of so that we can fully maximize and reach our potential of where God is taking us. And it doesn't mean that we don't love you. It doesn't mean that we don't wish you well. And things don't have to end negatively. But maybe I got to love you from afar. Okay? Not everybody can go.
Yeah.
But we got to go.
Okay.
Yes, we
Right
do.
now.
Fine.
It's Marriage and Money.
Marriage and money,
With
baby.
Egypt and Mike. We
Yes.
love you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.